started the recording. Then Mr. Sai Teja, please turn your cam on and mic on and be ready for the presentation.
Yes, sir, I'm presenting.
Just wait a minute. I will mute everyone so others will not. Yeah, I have asked you to unmute. So Sai, just a minute. So Sai Teja, after your presentation, I'll go for Vinutha N, and I can't see your mic, Vinutha. So please try to fix that because it may pose some problem. So Sai Teja, please start with your presentation.
Can you enable the presentation screen?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, please.
Is my presentation visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Hello everyone, my name is Sai Teja. I am from first February batch, and my project is building a simple web page application or developing a RESTful web application using Java Spring Boot. I'm going to the introduction. What are going in the PDF? It is introduction and how to build the web application and code and observation and reference. First, going to the introduction. This is a basic introduction of a Java and Spring Boot. Java is a high-level object-oriented program, and it is very popular due to easy to use. And Spring Boot is an open-source framework. And what is the futures of the Spring Boot? In going to the next slide. The features of a Spring Boot is a Spring CLI and starter dependency. With the help of the dependency, we communicate the dependency together eventually, and structure initialization. I mean, Spring initialization. We can create a structure if you're going to initialize a project. Then auto configuration. If you're going to write any code like REST request mapping or control, it automatically configure in your code, so it is faster and easy to use. There are and furthermore, I'm going to the more features of Spring Boot. It is used for testing and task execution and scheduling, Spring application, lazy initialization, admin features, and security purpose and login purpose also. And how to install? I'm going to the next slide. I am using the Spring Boot in Visual Studio. It is simple to install. First of all, install the Visual Studio, and then in this, go to the extension and install the code package of Java and Java extension and Spring Boot extension. After installing all the extension package, open the Spring Boot extension package and create a new project and create a demo example. Then by using Spring Boot, it automatically create a structure. It is another feature of Spring Boot. And why we need a Spring Boot? It is stable, basic on VMS, and connectivity and flexibility and open source. And my project is simple web page, so I just created a web page so that it print hello world. That's it. So this is my code. After initializing my code, I get a output of hello world. So I use the reference link in the Spring Boot project, springboost.com. That's it. This is about my project. If you have any questions, you can ask. Thank you. Sir, that's it, sir.
Okay, so can you just give a recap of your presentation? Just show me the slides. Just show me the slides.
Okay.
Go to number 1 slide. Okay, so go to next slide.
Sir?
Next.
Okay.
Go to next one. Okay, next one. Okay, next one. Yeah, next one. Okay, next one. Next one. Okay, next one. Okay, next one. Yeah, okay. So I just wanted to look at the design. So first of all, saying that your design is good, I would say, okay, and the content is also good. Or whatever content is there, it is just the right amount. But I believe somewhere the explanation was lacking. Okay, there could have been more in-depth explanation from your side. And like the proper context was not given, like what exactly it is. So try to work on that. Also, the introduction part was not that was not quite informative. So try to, like, when you are doing next time presentation, try to focus on the introduction part. Okay, because
Okay.
that is important. So because once you, like, catch a link, then it is very easy to follow that. Okay, but if it is not quite, like, explained properly in the introduction part, then people will get, like, really they will not understand what it is. Okay, but you followed all the procedures, I would say. Okay, the content was good, although the explanation was short, but it was good. It could have been more in depth. Okay, and then you had like Q&A and everything, so I would say it was overall, it was good. Okay.
So actually, my project is simply create a web page, so they didn't give any
See, it
design
was a
to it.
create a web page. Okay, but what was the name of your task?
It is simply create a web page, sir. Developing a RESTful web server. Simply they
So,
didn't
like,
give.
you will be using some kind of frameworks and everything. So try to, like, give some in-depth information, because there are all the IT people here. Okay. So it will be useful for them to know about it out of their scope, even though, because in future, if they, like, come across this website and you have given a proper introduction, then it will be useful for them. Okay.
Okay, sir. I will try to improve next
Yeah.
presentation.
So
Thank you.
see, the whatever from your task point of view, it was good. It was, like, fulfilling what we needed. It was good, but it could have been more in depth. That is what
Okay.
I'm saying. Okay.
Okay, sir. I will
Other than that,
improve
it
next
was
time.
very good. You have followed every procedure that you have. Your mic, camera, and everything was good. Okay. So you will get your mark after this meeting. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank
So thank you for presentation. So now I will move on to Vinutha N.
Sir, can I start my presentation, sir?
Yeah,
Can I share
please
my
start.
screen, sir?
Yeah, please.
So can you?
Sorry.
So 1 minute, sir. Sir, is my screen visible, sir?
Yeah, it is visible. Can you turn your cam on? Yeah, please start.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very sorry, sir. Once again, good evening, everyone. I'm Vinutha N from Python Programming Group. Today, I'm presenting task one presentation. Task one presentation is Hackveda business operations script in Python. In task one, we have 3 different projects: Google Cavalier tool, website login automation using Selenium, and third one is email service using SMTP. And let me start with first one. First one is Google Cavalier tool. Google Cavalier is used to automatically discover and scan websites by following links from one web page to another. Here, Cavalier is a computer program used to scan and search the information relevant to the frequencies, and it receives libraries in Python to send HTTP requests and receive the response of objects. Here we are requesting the HTTP request to search the informations for in relevant question, and the program used by search engine to scan web pages and understand the content and create the list of all pages. Here, when we enter the question in the search engine, it will scan the websites and understand the content and it will give the list of all the website. This is what the Google Caveler tool means. And let me go for the project implementation demonstration. Sir, sorry for the confirmation. I'm asking, is my voice audible, sir?
Yes, it is audible.
Sir?
Yes, it is audible.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And project demonstration. This is the code of Google Caveler tool. Here we have imported the libraries, and the libraries are request, pandas, JSON, and date and time delta. Let me run these libraries. Sorry, taking for a few seconds. I didn't get any error in the library, so I'm moving on to the next for the code. In next code, we have input the keyword as a enter a keyword, and we have to list the website. To search the question, we have listed the website, and the websites are Quora and Reddit. And next here we have given the Google URL for the HTTP request, so that we have given the URL. And here we are printing the Google URL. We have searching and website, and we have listed the websites here. This we will get an URL of this websites, and we are getting a response object from the as a request, and we have given the JSON, and we are printing the search term. We have getting the search term of the particular websites, and we are printing the total result of the particular website. So let me run this cell. I'm entering the keyword as a Python interview question for the question, sir. Yeah, we are getting a output as a Google URL. Here we have printing the Google URL of the particular website. So we can see here we got the Google URL of the Quora, and search term of the Quora, and the total result of the Quora website. So here we have entered the Quora website. So we are getting in Quora website URL and the search term and the total result. And next here we got the, and in output we got the Reddit URL and search time and total result. Search time and results may vary from different websites. I'm copying the same code of this cell and I'm pasting here. Here I've added the global variable, global variable as a questions list to list the questions from the Quora and Reddit. So I'm adding the questions list, and I'm adding the try and exception model. So here we will get a list of questions from the Quora and Reddit. So let me run this cell. Again, I'm adding the same questions as a Python interview. Here we can see the list of questions we got from the Quora and Reddit website as an output. So here we got the questions in the form of list. So we can get in the form of the tabular column also. So I'm copying the same code and I'm pasting in this cell. I'm adding the data frame. Here we will get when we had the data frame, we will get in the form of the tabular column. So I'm running this cell. I'm entering the same question as a Python interview. So here we can see we got the questions of list in the questions in the form of the column. So this is the demonstration of the Google Caveler tool project, and let me go for the users. So uses of Google Cavaler tool. Google Cavaler save time to scanning web page content and code. So as we seen, at the time we have entered a different website. So it save a time and it can access the relevant web page efficiently. As we seen, it can access the web page efficiently. So this is a use of Google Cavaler tool. And I'm going for the next project, website login automation using Selenium. Website automation is a way to automate common web actions, like filling out forms, clicking on buttons, downloading files. And as we all know, website login automation is a when we enter a code and it should log in automatically. So here, in the form of filling out of forms, clicking on buttons and downloading files. So in the form of this also, we can log in the website. And Selenium was a tool created to test a website's behavior, and it became a general web browser automation tool. In this website login automation, we are using a Selenium. We are using a Selenium library. And Selenium library helps us to access all functionalities of WebDriver like Firefox, Chrome, Remote, and etc. Here in this project, we are importing the WebDriver. First, we have to import the WebDriver. Let's see this in the project demonstration. So I'm going for the project demonstration. Sorry, it's loading for a few seconds. Yeah, we can see this code. We can see the code. This is the code of the website login automation. First, we have imported the WebDriver. So we have to install the WebDriver in our PCs. So I'm importing the WebDriver. We have to install the WebDriver from the Chrome. So I've installed in my PC previously, and I'm running this cell, and I'm importing the time for the time I'm importing for the continuous of the cell. And next, as I said, I have installed the WebDriver Chrome in my PC. So I've copied the WebDriver Chrome path here and I pasted here. So when I run this cell, we can see here another Chrome has been blinking. So when I open this Chrome, we are getting a different Chrome. So next, as we can see, it is in the form of minimize. So we can maximize this Chrome window. So I'm maximize this Chrome window as a browse.maximize_window, and I'm running this cell. So we can see the screen has been maximized. And next, I'm browsing the website. So here I've entered the website name as a Hackveda. So let's see Hackveda website. So here we can see the Hackveda website, as I mentioned in the code Hackveda. So I'm getting an Hackveda website. So let's log in for the Hackveda website through our code. So when I should log in for the Hackveda, I should use my username. So I'm browsing my username as a browse.find_element by ID. So let me run this cell. Yeah. And next, I have to log in through my email ID. We have our specific email IDs to log in the Hackveda website. So I'm logging in my email ID. So when I run this cell, automatically we can see the email ID in this website. So This is what the website login automation. When we enter the code in the when we enter our email ID in the code, it will go for the website. And next we will enter the password. So we have a particular password, and the password has been entered in the website. And next we will go for the sign in. Yeah, this is the output of the website login automation through Selenium. But I'm using the website. I'm using the Selenium library, and I'm through the copying the URL path of the website. I'm logging into the website to the Hackveda. This is what the output of the website. And next, I'm going for the third project. Email service using SMTP. Email service using SMTP. SMTP stands for the Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. And SMTP is a form of communication between servers using to send and receive the email. As we know, email is the form of a sending and receiving the communication. And SMTP servers require authentication in the form of a username, password, IP address, port, and security portal. To send mail, we do not need any external library. There is a module called SMTP library, and as the title says, we are using the SMTP. So we have using the SMTP library. So let me start with the working of email SMTP. It functions as SMTP server receives emails from the email client, then it passes them on the another SMTP email server, and relays them to the incoming mail. As we have seeing in the picture, the sender will send the mail through SMTP, and SMTP will receive the mail, and the SMTP will send the mail to the receiver of the particular mail ID. So this is how the SMTP will work. And let me start with the project implementation demonstration. This is the code of the email service using SMTP. Here we have imported the libraries. As I said, SMTP library and MIME multipart, MIME text, MIME base, and encoders. Let me run this cell. I didn't get any errors, so automatically my cell has been moving to the next cell. So let me go for the next cell. Here I have entered the mail content. So when we sending the mail, we have to put the content. So I'm putting a content as a mail content. And next we can see next we have to enter the sender address. When we send the mail, we have to send through the sender address. So I'm entering the sender address and sender password. From many of them we don't know. In 25th video we can see the code, but in the 26th video we have the two password verification. When we have to put this password, so we have to do the two sender verification authentication. When we are doing the two sender verification authentication, we will get this password, and we have to enter here, and we have to mention the receiver address. And next we have to set up the MIME part, sender and receiver, and we have to give the subject in the MIME part. So I'm giving the subject as the information required about. And let me run this cell. I didn't get any errors, so I'm moving to the next cell. In next cell, I have entered I've attached the content. When we sending the mail, we have to attach some PDF or as you required. So I'm attaching the PDF and I'm copying the path, and it has to read. So the receiver has to read. So I'm attaching a payload as an encoder. And next, I'm running this cell. I didn't get any errors, so moving to the next cell. In next cell, I have attached I'm given the print mail sent and the receiver address and print process completer. So let me run this cell. It will take a few seconds to send the mail to the receiver address. Yeah, we can see mail sent to the receiver address and process completer. This is the project implementation of the email service using SMTP. And next, we can see the uses of email service using SMTP. SMTP helps prevent spam by verifying the sender's account before delivering an email. As we all know, we will get some junk mails. So SMTP will help us to prevent from the spam. And many popular email clients such as Microsoft Outlook, Yahoo Mail, and Windows Live Mail use SMTP to send emails to users. And next, the user can have a dedicated server and support bulk mailing. So this is a uses of email service using SMTP. And thank you, everyone.
Hello, are you done?
Yes, sir, I'm done, sir.
So it was satisfactory, I would say. Okay, the introduction was good, the task introduction was good, and whatever the context you have given was good. Although the explanation part was quite small in the presentation, but I would say the most of your explanation was aimed toward the demo, so it was good from that side. But I would say that see, it is good from this for this presentation. It is good, but when you have like code heavy presentations where there are a lot of code, so see, the thing is you went step by step, line by line code explanation. Okay, so it makes sense, but don't do that from next time onward. Okay, see, you are using Jupyter Notebook and there is one block of code. So when I'm looking at that block of code, the text is really small. Okay, I'm not going to listen to all of what you are saying, because I as a viewer. So I'm not saying this whatever feedback I give, I don't give it as a mentor, I give it as a viewer. Okay, so as a viewer, I would say what problems I had with your presentation. So the text was really small for the code. Okay, and when you were giving the explanation, I got lost in between. So as a viewer, it would be really good if you had explained it in such a way that is a simple explanation and like what is this block of code, what I'm expecting it to do, and what it is giving me. So what is my input for this block of code, what I'm expecting it, and this is the output that I have given. So when you execute that block of code, I know that she said this is the input and this is the output that I'm receiving. Okay, I can verify whatever you are saying is correct in that way. Okay, so explanation was good, but it was not good for first time viewers who are not from Python group, who are not from Python background. It will be really hard for them to understand. Okay, so next time when you have this presentation where there are a lot of code, what you can do is, see, the thing is, in your PPT the text was really not good, I would say. You only had one slide for each one, and I believe for SMTP you had that users. For other two you only had one introduction slide. That is not enough. The thing is, what you could have done was, the task was, you could have simple given an explanation, a flowchart bit or a diagram bit to show what will be steps in your code as a code block format. So this will be flowchart, so that I can easily understand that, and it will also make your overall PPT, the presentation, really good as a content. Okay, it will be really good. So suppose I'm telling you that please post your PPT on your on whatever your website is, so that people can go there, take it as a reference. If you don't have proper formatting what you did in your PPT, then it will make really hard for people to use it as a reference. So whatever your task is, try to include it in the PPT itself. Okay, so they don't need to for a refresher. So suppose I just want a refresher on what you said. I don't want to come here and watch entire 10-minute, 5-minute, 15-minute video. I just want to look at the PPT, get the flowchart, and it will be good for me. So this is the feedback that I would like to give you as a viewer. Other than that, from a presentation point of view, it was really good. Okay, but next time, remember when you have code heavy presentation, try to include flowchart and everything. Okay, and your explanation should not be like line by line code. It will make it really long presentation. Okay, it will be really hard for you to explain everything, because you, I believe, forgot some things. Okay, that is because it was really long, and it is hard for human brain to like remember all those things. Okay, so try to make it code block type thing. So it will make it really good for you to easily explain it and for us to understand it. Okay. And other than that, you followed all the code of conduct, I would say. But there was some problem with your microphone. At first, the voice was echoing. So try to fix that next time. Other than that, it was completely okay. Okay. So you will receive your marks after this presentation. Thank you for your
Yes, sir.
presentation. So I will now
Thank you,
move on
sir.
to, yeah. So I will now
And
move on to
sorry for the
next
delay,
one.
sir.
Yeah, that is completely fine.
Okay.
Okay. So Vinay B A.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, please turn your camera.
Yes.
Yeah, please start.
Yes. So it's my screen is visible, sir.
Yeah, it is visible. You can start.
Good evening, sir. My name is Vinay B A. I am from Python group. I am my second task is overview of Python web framework using Django, Fast API, and Flask. Then the contents of this one is Django and what are the advantages and disadvantages of Django, and what are the use case are used into Django, and what next one is Flask. What are the same advantage and disadvantage and use cases, and fast APIs. These are advantage and disadvantage use cases, and compare this framework. What are the difference between this framework, and what are the use cases are used this Flask, and then conclusion. Then first we understand what is Python web framework. So basically, Python web framework is a set of component is a set of set of component designed to specify your web development process. It has basic structured tools in it, which serves as a solid base of project. Basically, we develop on website. First we choose the which framework, either Django or Fast API, and many more. We can use any type of the API framework. The goal of the it allow you to focus on the most important of details, and the project goal is instance to create the thing that you can simply pull off the framework. Python framework is are used to create the web application. We create the web application by using the Python framework, and there are the several popular options are available. They're the most popular framework that are Django, Flask, and Fast API. Each of the framework are own strategies to develop the project, and also this framework has own strength or weaknesses. Then first one is Django. What is Django? Django is the web application framework. Is what written in the Python programming language. It is based on the MVT. MVT means model view template, design pattern. Django is very demanding due to its paid development feature. Many of the companies are used to Django, and it takes less time to build the application after collecting the client requirement. It is easy to build the application, and also it's very user friendly to run the application. This framework is use a famous tagline. What's the tagline? The web framework for prescription with deadlines. Then what are the advantages of Django? The Django is a code structure is very efficient, making it easy to develop and add more of the functionality to their website. The REST framework, REST means representation state transfer can be defined as a software architecture style that is define a set of constraints to be used to create the web pages. REST framework are used to create the web services in Django. This calls the REST framework, the DRF, Django REST framework. It is flexible toolkit used to build the web APIs in Django. REST is a general framework. While DRF is specify the REST framework using in Django, it is easy to build the web APIs with Django because of its modular and customizable architecture. Django is emphasizes security by providing the defense against the joint SQL injection and cross-site request for an attack. Because Django is very secular. In some of the attack SQL injection and cross-site request, this attack is not doing in Django. Prawns. Django is cumbersome software may limit development speed because of this many reusable model. It also need to make sure that previous version are still compatible with a new release, contribute to slow future. We know Django is compared to previous version, it's built very efficient to use in user case. Then Django model can have no mixing. They just have simple inheritance. Then Django use ORM, which was created by the SQL alkali, and making the Django ORM inherent to SQL alkali because it's a less flexible. Then what the use case of Django? Django can be project of any size and capacity. We can use it for would be high loading engines and shopping platform and school management system. It's built in custom CRM system for internal data. And also iOS and Android or web application is supposed to Django. Then next one is Flask. Flask is a micro framework for Python. It is easy to code and easy to configure the code, and Flask won't make many decisions for you, such as what the database to use. As an excellent documentation by using the Flask, and it's also RESTful API compared to Flask, and also Flask is easy to testable. Some of the flops are Task is flexible and comfortable. Most part of Flask have the possibilities of changing, which is very unlikely for some of the other websites. Compared to the Django, it is not good. Its Django is more features compared to Flask is not future in Flask. Flask allow unit testing and would enable you to transmit to a web framework by tweaking some extension because it's built in development of server integration support. Flask is very beginner friendly because it's a simplicity. Some of the concepts Flask is use the models which is third party involvement and prawns it causes the security of branches. Flask as a singular source that impulse that is well handle the every request in turns. One after the other, it will take time to execute the program. And use cases, it will use the e-commerce system or Facebook and bot and online social media and static site. It's not advisable to use the high load enterprises software. Then last one is Fast API. Fast API is a modern open source and fast and high level performance in Python web framework. It used to build the web APIs and is based on some of the prompts. Fast API is validate the developer's data type, even is deploy needed to JSON request. It requests a JSON for execute some application using a fast API. Fast API is built to standard like JSON scam. It means JSON scheme is a tool is used to validate the structure of JSON of data, and also authentication and also open API. Fast APIs make it easy to build the graph, and Python libraries is called the graph and Python. And some of the disadvantages, because of fast API is relatively new, and the community is small compared to other framework, and regardless it is detailed documentation, there is very little external education of material. It's very detailed, less number of documentation required. Then fast API use cases. Fast API works perfectly in concern of the speed Netflix uses for the internal serious management. It also scales up perfectly in deploying the production read machine learning models, because ML models is work the best in the production while using of the fast API use cases, and wrap around the fast API and deploy the microservices. Comparison of the Django, Flask, and Fast API, the package and community and performance and flexibility. These are and the job opening and education of Django. These are the main terms or comparison of these three. Package means among the Django and Flask and Fast API Django, as most packages are enable reusability of the code. Or more packages are immersed in the all web framework. It is also the full stack web development framework. Unlike Flask and Fast API, that are minimum frameworks are used in the package are used in the application. Then community in Django has the most significant community because it's wide use and popularity next of the Flask, which is also thrilling community, and Fast API is another end. It's a small community are used to Fast API. Performance wise, is Django is very high level, and compared to Fast and Fast API, and Flask is compared to very less. Then flexibility is some of the developers value a lot. Flask is more flexible than Django. Fast API. Then other end, flexible code price does not restrict the code layout. So we can say Flask is the most flexible among of these all. Job openings. No doubt there is the more job or opening in the Python ecosystem in Django in requirement. The next is Flask, and final then the Fast API. First one is Django is requires to a very high percentage of Django job opening in nowadays, and which is the far less in Flask and Fast API. So aim to get quick job is Django is very good. Education of Django is more students is to learn, but may also online materials of the resources. Flash is easy to straightforward and many of the online materials, and some of the reference of YouTubers is use Django is very good. Then conclusion, after looking for this, you might be able to choose which is the one which is best of these three. In summary, Django is the perfect if you want to build the robust of full stack website, because it has several functionalities and work in the world of the production. Flask is ideal the machine learning engine or developers who want to quickly prototyping a web application and build the APIs easily and quickly at the same of time. Fast API is perfect is using looking of the speed of its scalability. It is also always wise to choose framework based on what you want to use for it. Nowadays, Django is the best for learn everything to build the web framework by using the Java, by using the Python. So this is my presentation. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, no, I'm done.
Yes, sir, I done.
So can you go show me all the slides that you have?
Sir?
Just click on your up arrow and show me the slides.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, just show me click. Go. Yeah, go on, go on.
That's it.
So you looked at your slide. Okay. So what is the first thing that comes to your mind? That it has a lot of text. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
when you have like text-based presentations, so try to minimize it some way. Okay. Try to, or you see, for one topic you can certainly use multiple slides. Okay. So if you have conclusion, you can, what you can do is you can use multiple slides for that. That is completely fine. But don't have like too much text which will make it harder for viewers to read it. Okay. And never ever have two paragraphs in your slides. Only try to only and only include one paragraph. And if you are including a paragraph, don't include anything else, just that paragraph. Else, compare like make it bullet point type. Okay, it will
Okay, sir.
improve the readability of your slide. Okay, it will be easier for your viewers to read it and understand it. So suppose
Yes,
if
sir.
they get lost between your presentation, they can just look at the slide and get back to you what you are explaining. Okay, it will make it easier
Yes,
for
sir.
them. Other than that, have like some kind of explanation or example when you are trying to explain this kind of framework. And always I said, I believe in last time also, some people have what was the name of your course, just for the confirmation?
Sir, sir,
uh,
Python web framework, sir.
Comparison, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So compare it with respect to the project. Okay. So you had like with respect to job and education, how easy it is to learn. That is good thing. That is a secondary thing that is good to add for general discussion. But when we are asking you to give a comparison, we are willing to like ask you with respect to project. So suppose I have a project, what framework should I choose? Okay. So
Okay, sir.
try to like give that comparison with respect to how we will work it as a project. If suppose I ask you to work as a Django developer, okay, but you think no, fast API will work better for what the project we have, how you will
Yes, sir.
confront them. Okay, so what are the things you would say? So in that moment you will of course come up with some kind of comparison between Django and fast API, right? To tell
Yes, sir.
me that, see, this is the comparison, and with the comparison it comes out that this is better for this project with respect to this project. Okay, so
Yes, sir.
try to make it like that, give a scenario to your viewers so they can imagine that yes, I have this kind of project, so I should go with Django. I have this kind of project, then I should go with fast API and something. Okay, it will make
Yes,
it
sir.
more interactive for your presentation. There will be some kind of interaction, okay, between your
Yes, sir.
viewers and you. Okay, it will not be like just reading the slide and something. So other than that, I would say the content was good. Whatever content you had, it was certainly good. But it was lacking somewhere with respect to project base. Okay, because see,
Yes, sir.
when we are looking at a framework, so what we are basically looking, is it secure? Is it scalable? It is available? Okay, am I able to maintain the project? Okay, these are some things that we are looking. So see, but in your presentation, you had those points. Okay, if you look back
Yes, sir.
your presentation, you will see that where I believe you talked about CSRF tokens, right, in the
Yes, sir.
Django, and then
Yes, sir.
you said that it is really scalable with respect to fast API. So there were some points, but it was not clear based on all three frameworks. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so try to include that. Other than that, I would say it was a good presentation. If from a beginner point of view, if a beginner is looking at your presentation, it will be really good for them. But next time when you are giving it, try to have your comparison with respect to a project, how you
Okay, sir.
will use a framework. Okay, so
Okay, sir.
if I'm looking at your presentation and I have a I want to make a decision which framework should I choose, so I should be able to uh, have a clear picture with respect to a project. Okay,
Yes,
I
sir.
believe last time I asked someone that suppose I have company, I have 35 products. Okay, and
Yes,
I'm
sir.
planning to add new products in future. I will have fully grown like multiple systems like individual client, and then the clients who are say willing to buy our product in the wholesale. I have admins and then, so which framework I should go for?
Okay, sir.
Can you tell me which framework I should go for?
Sir, Django, sir.
Why not fast API? You just said it is scalable, it is very easy.
Sir,
And the thing is, I have like, new products. Okay, understand? I have new product. Okay. So when I'm adding the product, what I'm doing? I'm adding the product in the SQL, and then I'm fetching that data from SQL, showing it in the front end. So that
Yes,
is
sir.
completely React thing. I can just use a front end framework to make it look beautiful, make it look good, make it look better, interactive for my viewers. I'm just fetching the data and updating it. So why it is like clearly API thing to do. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Why should I not go for fast API? And why should I go for Django? So have this kind of things when you're looking at it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir.
So it will be easy for your viewers to understand, like
Yes,
what
sir.
you are trying to say. So overall, I would say it was good. It was informative with respect to beginner point of view. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay.
well done on that. You will get your marks up after this presentation. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Sir, actually, I done my pending presentation, sir. It's my pending presentation.
Yeah, completely fine.
Okay, sir.
I have noted down your task name. Okay. I'll
Okay, sir.
send you with respect to that task name. Okay. You will get it for the pending. Yes. So next person is Pratyush Hedaoo.
Just a minute, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Am I visible?
Yeah, you are visible.
Yeah. So should I go for screen sharing?
Yeah, please share the screen and start your presentation.
Yeah. Is it visible?
Yes, it is visible. Start.
So my presentation is on data types, variables, and operators. So a brief before I begin. So basically, JavaScript is used when you have to drive your web page. A web page cannot be run without HTML, and it has to be styled with the help of CSS. But to perform operations and make movements on this web page, you need JavaScript. So my topics presentation today is data types, variables, and operators. So we are going to talk about it. So these are the variables. So there are three types of variables when it comes to JavaScript. That's var, that's constant, then there is lit. So we are going to see them through examples. So what happens is that like what is a variable? A variable is basically in the language of JavaScript. A variable is whatever you put it in. It's like a bucket, and whatever value you put in towards it, it takes it. So basically, usually what happens is that in other languages such as C++ or Java, we define what kind of variable, what kind of value the container will have. Such as like integer, is it going to be an integer? It is going to be a tumhare characters or any other boolean. But what happens is that you don't have to like do it in JavaScript. It automatically understands that. So here, as you can see, what I did put a variable of a is equals to 19. So the system will automatically understand that this is a number, and it will further define ahead in the key. Whatever it's going to do, it's going to do it in the form of number. So this is an input that I gave to my web page. This is all these are execution that I'm going to show I have executed them on VS Code. So this is something. So we assigned a key value 19, and then I executed this on the console. So this is the output. So this is a variable. And let and constant. So basically, before these are not so different than variables. In most of the cases, like 95% of the cases which I saw, VAR is used. So the reason why VAR is used is that because like once a value is assigned in constant or let, see constant let, it cannot be changed. It works in a similar manner, and it has a scope of a block, whereas in variable, in VAR, it has a scope of a function. So as you can see, nothing is like different from that. I took a different example because I wanted it to demonstrate. It would have been a similar example with var, so that's why I took a different example of this. So these are the variables, three types of variables that we learned in JavaScript. So the next is data types in JavaScript. So when it comes to JavaScript, there are basically two types of data types, which are primitive and reference. So primitive is that in which it's a singular value. So it can be a string, it can be a number, it can be a begin. By begin is a unique case where JavaScript cannot accommodate a number. So begin is used so that because numbers can be accommodated. There is Boolean. Boolean is as self-explanatory. Unlike in other languages, what happens in Boolean that either the value is true or either a value is false. Undefined and null is quite interesting. Undefined is that when you declare a variable and you don't assign it, I think it goes in the value of undefined. But when we assign a variable's value to null, so that it means that value cannot be reassigned and its value is considered as to be null, rather than it cannot be reassigned actually. Undefined can be reassigned, and there is symbol and there is objects. And there is the other type of variable that's reference, which is array and object. We are going to see those through examples. So this is the primitive type. So as you can see, this is an interesting case. The JavaScript has the ability to analyze from left to right. So as you can see, like the first, it's a string value that is being recognized. So the further 16 and 4 are also considered as strings. So in case if it would have been other way, the other way around, like 16 plus 4 plus Volvo, so it would have been, the output would have been 20 Volvo. So this is a thing. And the second example is that that in what we did is that we compared both of them. So that's it. Then comes reference. So reference, what happens is reference is that, as the name suggests, these objects are connected to each other, and hence it's called out. So the reference I'm showing is that it's a reference of object, like object type array, and arrays are fetched in a similar manner. When we have more than one values to assign to a variable, and that's called as a reference. Now, sir, the third part is operations in JavaScript. So when it comes to operations, operations are general operators, like which perform operations like plus, minus, division, multiplication, or when it comes to logical operator, it's like the greater than, less than. Then there are different kind of signs when it comes to operators in JavaScript. So we are going to take a look them one by one. So this is an arithmetic operator. So to demonstrate it, what I have done is that I assigned a variable over here, and I gave it a value, and these kind of operations happen, and obviously this is the answer that we got through our console. So sir, arithmetic operations is none of this different than any other of languages, and this is how it happens. So the next thing is that of assignment operator. Assignment operator, it's like basically in assignment operator, the variable updates itself. So as you can see, basically if it means x into is equals to 10, so that means the value beforehand has to be considered as the value of x. So that value will be considered over the place of x. So basically it's 99 multiplied by 100. 99 multiplied by 10. So it's going to be 990. So that's the case of assignment operator. Instead of having a bigger expression, x into 10 is equals to whatever the value is going to be, it's done in a single line. Then this is the last one, the logical operator. So a logical operator operates in such a manner that if basically what I did is I named A as 10 and B as 10.1, and I said in console log that A is greater than B. So when I made a statement here, and the output came as false. So what I'm trying to say is that it's full of Boolean as well. So basically logical operator operates on the logic and therefore gives an out. So that was my explanation. Thank you. Any questions? I would take. Yes.
You said that you will see the demo on some of the examples.
No, sir, I did the demo. These are the screenshots of that.
Okay.
I did
So you are done,
actually.
right?
Yeah.
That is fine. See, your overall explanation, I would say it was good. Okay, it was one point explanation. It was good. But the thing is, you don't have, like, for other people, I said they have too much text. For you, you don't have enough text in your PPT. You just have screenshots. That is not
Yeah.
good. See, when you say var in variable, okay, and suppose I'm looking somewhere else, and I just went there for a drink, came back. I don't know where you are. So I should
Okay.
have, like, a proper one-liner definition to know what is var. So
Okay,
you
got it.
should, in all your slide, you should have added a one-liner definition for everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was not, like, no, I would say it was a half presentation with respect to presentation itself. But explanation was good. You did explain everything. Although some of the go to constant, the constant variables. Yeah, see here you have cost price 19, cost price 222. Okay, so in this, what you, for you to, like, explain it properly, what you should have done. See, what is const? Can you explain again?
So const is basically a way to define a variable, and the value doesn't change if
Okay.
another value is
So
assigned to
what
it.
you could have done is, see, you have cost price one, cost price two. So below price two, you should have said let price one and set it to different value, and then add it so that we will know, yes, that the cost one was added and let one was ignored. It will make it really easy for your viewers to
Got it.
understand the main difference. So cost price one and cost price two were added because the price can't be changed, and the let price one was ignored. It will make it really easy to
Yeah.
understand. Okay,
Got it.
so you should have done that. For with respect to that, I would say overall your explanation was good. It was input output format, which made it really easy to understand what you are saying. Okay, I had clear view what your examples are, I would say. But again, you don't have, like, text in your PPT. So I would say that it is only half PPT. But with respect to presentation, it was complete.
Okay, I will remember for the next time. At least I will include one-liners.
Yeah. Because
Sure.
see, always and always add some kind of one-liner on topic itself, because
Yeah.
it is each individual topic, right? Or subtopic. So always have a one-liner so that I can just come back and look what is going on.
Sure, I will remember.
Other than that, it was good, and I believe there was no demo for this one. Was there, like, something that you need to create on it, or just this
Yeah, I did.
exercise?
It was nothing special, honestly. It was just arithmetic operations. Like I inserted two numbers, and it gave multiplication, division, plus minus of all. I didn't even do
Okay.
the CSS.
Okay. So you should have added a demo for that one. Okay.
Okay, I will do that next
Because it
time.
was only arithmetic, right? So you can just
Okay.
go to the console and show the
Yeah.
arithmetic operation. That's it.
Yeah, and it's,
So
should
there
I?
are two things that are notable. That is, there was not enough text and there was no demo. Okay. Other
I will
than that, it
remember next.
was, everything was good, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I stop
Yeah.
sharing?
Yeah, you can stop. I will move on to next question. Thank you for your presentation. So, Devuni, Satish.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, very good evening. Your
I'm sharing my
internet
screen.
is quite lagging. Sorry, your internet is quite lagging.
Sir,
Your internet is not good.
sir, 1 second, sir.
Yeah, please fix your internet. I will move on to next person. Then I will come back to you again. So, Abhay Shah.
Yes, sir. I'm audible.
Yeah, you are audible. Please start.
So, hello everyone. Myself, Abhay. I'm from DevOps group. So today I'll be talking about the what is Docker and explain how Docker works in a DevOps environment. So moving on to the presentation flow. So this would be the presentation flow. So firstly, I will introduce the Docker and what is Docker container, and tell afterwards I will tell you about the importance of the Docker containers, the architectures of the Dockers, and the component involved in the Docker architectures, and a little bit about its working, and the earlier time data center, how they were, and now in this period, how they are working, and advantages of Docker containers, and some use cases of a company using this Docker containerization method. Moving on to next, the introduction part. Basically, Docker, it was all started in 2013 with by a Docker company called Docker Int, which is an American-based company. They focuses on mainly on containerization method. So basically, Docker is a PaaS model. It's a platform as a service model that uses OS virtualization level to deliver software in a packages called containers. So it allows the developer to package their application code and all their dependency into a container form, and then deploy that into a computing environment like any cloud platform. And this tools, the Docker uses some tools that is called Docker Compose, which enables us to create many Dockers in a single uh, container. So Docker Swarm is for clustering all those containers, and Docker Volume provides the data backup and data security. And moving on to next, the importance of the Docker. Basically, Docker enables more efficient use of system resources like Docker by creating the container in the server. Basically, you can decide whether the application is consuming like 12 GB of data. You can specifically give each and every application specifically assigned data, and it is more responsive deployment, and it's better for scaling purpose, and it gives the security because the Docker containerization method just has only one layer of OS, which the attacker might not get into your server easily. And it's fast and consistent delivery of your application. It gives the consistent delivery of your application, and is easy to configure. uh, Moving on to the next. So basically the architectures of Docker, there are basically three components. First is a Docker client, second is the Docker host, and Docker registry. Basically Docker registry, if basically Docker can be installed in both Windows and Mac, and to install in the Mac there are three prerequisites to be installed, like the Mac ports and CLI. And one more thing is I didn't remember that Docker client. Basically, if we try to command like build a Ubuntu machine, so it basically gives a command to the API form, gives the command to the Docker daemon that consists of a container and an image. So basically, the Ubuntu image, if it's not present in that image, Docker daemon image, it will move on to the Docker registry, which is the hub of the Docker. You can access it publicly. That is, we just need to push that image to our container, and pull that image from the container and push wherever you want to deploy that container in the AWS service or Azure service. So basically, Docker pull nx. Basically, this goes to the Docker daemon, and if nx servers is present in that image, so it will pull that image into Docker client. And if the image is ready, containerized, and then the container can be deployed to the cloud services. And moving on to the component of Docker. So there are key components of Docker. Docker engine, which consists of images, containers, network infrastructure, and data volumes. Docker images are basically the package of the application code, and Docker file is the Docker file which the you can access that publicly from the Docker hub. And Docker hub, where the whole registry is being included in that. All the images are put into that. If you type a command like docker build docker push pull a image from hello world, like there is an image called hello world, so it will pull the image. And docker volumes provide, as I discussed earlier, it provides the data. And docker composites basically create many more containers in a single environment. And docker desktop is, you can install that into a mac and mac in the operating system. And docker containers, which packages all your images into a single container and deploy it in a cloud. So moving on to the next. So before telling about the virtual machine versus this containerization method, I would let you go into earlier time traditional data center. Like it was all on-premise data center. It was all physical. So dedicated hardware were used, network infrastructures like routing switches, router switches, and firewalls for security's purpose. And earlier time, many startups were not there because the servers were very costly. Uh, like uh, one application, if a company needs to host his application into make the application into a live into internet, so they used to have the dedicated server for one application with the OS installed in it. So this leads to some disadvantage for the company's revenues, like it increases the expenditures of operating cost and the initial capital investment. And it is no optimum use of hardware resources. If a dedicated server is if an application needs 12 GB of space, and if the server is of 16 GB, and that server has a OS installed in it, so basically it will use the half of the storage would be used by your OS, and the half of the storage would be used by application. But there will be like 2 to 3 GB of wastage. So and that's why it's no optimum use of hardware resources. And the hectic and it become the administration become hectic because many more wires are lying in that. So to overcome this traditional data center problem, a virtualization technology arrived in the market, like the called which is called a software defined data center. So traditional data centers get converted into this software defined data center, which is also known as a virtualization method. So it basically reduced the capex and opex hardware cost of the company, and it gives the optimum use of hardware resources, and it make the data center hardware to somewhat software, that is smart data center, which has server migration easily, backup, and high scalability, which is a hardware plus software based infrastructure. And the tool used for creating the virtual machines in the servers were the hypervisor, VMwares, KVM, and we can use also my Microsoft Hyper-V software to create the virtual machine in the uh, servers. And moving on to the next. There are traditional data center, and there are the software defined data centers. But it is good for the companies could which with the IT company which have want to have a data center in their own premise. But like assume a company, non-IT company called pharmaceutical and like say atta making company, Ashirwad atta making company did not need a on-premise data center. They focuses on making products. Why they will basically have a data center dedicated software team for that. So they need but they need a data center because the employees they're working there want to go digitally, want to save their data in the databases and retrieve data easily from the database. So the company basically need contact with a third party company like Netmagic, which is which gives these cloud solutions. Like the whole infrastructure cost, like if a company, atta making company concerned with the NetMagic, like company like NetMagic. So they quote the quotation of the network infrastructure, and the whole infrastructure, physical infrastructure, were is to bear the company, the pharma company itself, and the operations are to be performed by NetMagic. So they are just getting paid of the maintaining their operations, and the hosted data center is available in both traditional and virtual machines nowadays. And moving on to the next. So this is the architectures of virtual machines and the Docker containerization method. So you can see the first, the lower layer is the network infrastructure, where all the routers, switches and firewall securities are to be installed. And about that, a host OS operating system is being installed. And the third layer is the hypervisor. Like in that OS, you will need to install the hypervisor V machines to create as many machines you want in the upper segment. Like and it also consists of two layers of OS in the virtual machines. And after that, each every application is being hosted on the dedicated virtual machines on a single server. And in the Docker case, the layer of second OS is being denied, because the host OS, the second layer OS can handle the containerization method. So the containers basically creates more space, like it utilizes the more space, as I discussed earlier. So moving on to the next. So talking about some virtualization uh, drawbacks, like if there is a two layers of OS, the licensing cost would be but obvious high. So they, like, if one OS, there are, if there it if I make 10 hundreds of virtual machines, I will require hundreds of OS licensing cost. The 110 101, I will need 101 OS licensing costs, bear the licensing cost. So it would be and also the resources would be wasted. And if there is a instability of OS, if there's two OS layers, if there are instability of OS, so hacker might get into the OS and attack the application, or play with the data in the badly manner. And here's also somewhat hectic administration leads, but to overcome this problem, the containerization method arrived at. And moving on to the next. And also there are some advantage and disadvantage of containerization method as well. Like talking about the advantages, it is more lightweight than VMs, because the images are in the MB, not in the GB. Like the VMs are in the GB. So containers requires fewer IT resources to deploy and run and manage the application. So and it's been up in the milliseconds. It doesn't require that much of and there is no leakage of any files or something. And talking about the disadvantages, like container may be less secure than VM, since the underlying OS is shared, like only one OS. If a data center administrator doesn't patch the updated version of the OS, the hacker might get into the OS and attack the application. So the containers are a newer technology, and this ecosystem is still being in the evolving phase. Many of the companies uses the virtualization method itself, and some of the company users are containerization method are PayPal, General Motors, and MetLife, which is an insurance company, Expedia, and Uber, and lastly is the tutor. And coming to the conclusion part, in today's complex software development environment, basically Docker plays an important role, uh, which creates a standardized workflow environment for every member throughout the product life cycle management. So more importantly, Docker is open source, and it has a premium version as well. It's a paid version. And Docker is also, if you purchase a premium version, you will get the admin support. But if you are using the open source, you'll have a community support there. And many more companies, if they fail to successfully leverage the Docker containerization method in their premises, will surely keep them behind the competitors in the market. And thank you.
No, Abhay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is no demo.
No, sir. I was told only to create the what is Docker and how it works.
Okay, that is fine. Okay, so your, I would say your presentation was really informative. Okay, you followed proper code of conduct. The text was just right. Whatever you had in your presentation was good, I would say. Okay, and as I have worked with virtualizations before, so I can say one thing that it was really informative with respect to Docker. You followed a proper hook and story. That is a proper timeline from like previous generation traditional over virtualization to Docker transition, and the architecture, it was really well explained. But I would say when you were explaining the architecture part, it was quite hard to understand for, I believe, for beginners. Okay, so next time when you have like really hard architectures to explain, as I said, I have worked with VMware system, so it is really hard for us to explain like this kind of things to the total beginners or someone who is not from this domain. Okay, so try to work on that. Other than that, I would say overall your presentation was really best one today. Okay, so you will receive your marks after this meeting. Thank you for the presentation. I will now move on to next person. That is
Thank you,
Devuni
sir.
Satish. I believe your intern should be fixed now.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So Devuni.
Sir, now I'm audible, sir.
Yes, you are audible, but you still have some bandwidth issue. Just continue with it.
Sir, can I see you?
Yeah, your screen is visible. Please start.
Okay, sir. So, good evening, sir. My name is Devuni Satish. I'm today here to explain about data types, variables, and operators in JavaScript. So, coming to the introduction, JavaScript is a popular programming language, and it is used to create dynamic web pages and interactive web pages. And it was developed by the Braden Inch in 1995. And it has become the most widely used programming language in the world. And it is a client-side scripting language, which means that it runs on the user's web browser rather than the server hosting websites. And JavaScript is primarily used to add interactive web pages, such as creating animations, validation of forms, responding to the user actions. So today I'm covering in this PPT are data types, variables, and operators. So coming to the data types is an attribute of a variable or value that determines the types of data it can be hold. Means holding a value in the variable, like integers. We have the common data types like integers, which can be a whole numbers, and floating point numbers, which are the decimals, and strings in the form of text, and boolean means true or false. The condition may be true or false. And the arrays, which is a collection of a data. And coming to last, objects, a collection of a key values pair. So this is a small example which demonstrate about the data types. Like here, I have shown some variables with the different data types, like let age is equals to 30. Here the value 30 is an integer, so it was storing as a age. Coming to the next, it is a height, which is a floating number. 1.75 is a floating number, and as a string I am entering the name as John. Next, it is validating that let is a student, John is a student or not. It's showing the condition like true or false in a Boolean expression. Let the hobbies, this is an array which store the multiple values. And coming to the person, where I have explained that a collection of key and value. Like here I am entering the key, that is a name, and the Jan is a value, and the age of the Jan is a key, and the value is a 25. Is a student or not. I'm assigning with the true or false like Boolean expression. So here I'm printing the output like console.log age, type of age means age means I'm taking from here like what I have entered 30. So age is an 30 and type of age is a number. So like this I have implemented some examples in this page. So coming to next, variables. A variable is a named storage location that holds a value, which can be a number, a string, an object, or any other data types. Variable used. So here we defining a variable in JavaScript with a var, let, or a constant keywords, followed by the variable name and optional assessment operator to assign a value to the variable. So here is an example for a variables like var x is equals to 10, where x is a variable and storing the value of 10. So here I attach it with the comment line like declares a variable name x and assigns the value 10 to it using the var keyword. So next example is a let y is equals to hello. Here it declares a variable name y and assigns the string value hello to its let keyword. And constant z is equals to true, declares a constant variable named z and assigns the Boolean value true to it using the constant keyword. So coming to the operators are the symbols or keywords that perform operations on one or more operands to produce a result. There are several types of operators in JavaScript like arithmetic operators, assessment, comparison, logical, and bitwise operators. So coming to the arithmetic operators, we have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and module. So here I am assigning a value x is equals to 10 and y is equals to 5. Here we are doing some operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. So these are the outputs of the operators. So coming to the assignment operators, these operators assign values to variables such as the equal operators and plus equal operator, minus equal operator, and others. Like I have given the example like let a is equals to 5, a plus is equals to 2, console.log a is equal it prints the output as 7. Means a value is on 5 and adding the 2 it becomes a 7. So it becomes a plus equal operator like adding and equaling the value. So coming to the comparison operator, these operators compare two values and return a Boolean value of true or false, such as equal operators, not equal operators, greater than operator, less than operator, and others. Like I'm assigning two values like taking a variable x equals to 10 and y equals to 5. Here x equals to y, because 10 and 5 are not equal, so it giving us a false. Then x not equals to y, yes, it's not equals to y, then it giving output as true. So x greater than y, it's true, greater than x greater than y. So coming to next, x less than y, it giving us false statement because it's less than 5, 10 less than 5. So logical operators, like we are having AND operator, OR operator, and not operator. So I'm giving an example like x equals to 10 and y equals to 5. Here I'm like 10 and 5 are putting false, like AND operator. It shows if the both values equal, then it shows true. If not, it shows false. Like OR operator, it show if the one value is greater than and one value is small, then it show one is true or one is false, then it shows the true. If both the true, then it false, and both the false, then it false. So not operator, it shows if it is true, then false. If false, then it is true in the output. Like bitwise operator, we have numerical operands such as bitwise AND operator, bitwise OR operator, and bitwise NOT operator. So here I'm assigning the value x is equals to 10 and y is equals to 5. So 5 and 3, the output is 1. And for OR operator, it is 7. And out of NOT operator, it was 6. So conclusion, data types and the operators are fundamental concepts in the JavaScript that allows you to store and manipulate data and perform various operations and controls the program flow. So understanding this concept is crucial for writing effective JavaScript code that performs the intent operations accurately and efficiently. So the JavaScript main use in the web pages to perform an operation. To complete the task, we using the JavaScript, and it is a more reliable and efficient code that behaves predictively and debug it more effectively and avoid common errors and issues. So coming to the reference, I have developed an application, web application, so I can demonstrate it. One second, I'm demonstrating. So this is what I have developed using the JavaScript operations, like performing data types operations and variables and arithmetic comparison operators. Like here I am giving a number like 22 and I'm entering the string. My name is Satish. Here I'm keeping the value as true because a Boolean values will be in a true or false mode. So by submitting the values here, I can see that number is 22, string is Satish, Boolean is equals to true. So in this, I'm operating the arithmetic operations, like I'm giving the values like 10 and next 5. By submitting, I can get the addition is equals to 15, subtraction is equals to 5, multiplication is equals to 50, and division value is 2, remainder is equals to 0. So here I'm performing the comparison operation, like 10 and second value as 5. So by submitting it, we can get the output here is equals to false because 10 and 5 both are not equal. So getting false is not equal. Yes, true, because both the values are not equal. And first number greater than second number is equals to false is less than true. Yes. is greater or equal, false, because they both are not equal. So less than or equals, yes, second number is less than first number, so it getting true, and operator getting false, and or operators true. So here I'm concluding it.
And no, Satish,
Yes, sir.
are you done with your presentation?
Okay, so I'm sharing. Yes, sir.
Okay, so can you just go through your presentation? Just show me the slides.
Okay, sir.
Okay, go next one. Next, next. Keep going next. Okay. So now you looked at your presentation. Okay. So
Yes.
first thing I would like to say is this is the one of the best presentation I have seen for this task. Okay. The what you have created, the website that you have created, that is really good. That explained everything properly. What with respect to what you have explained. Okay. Your
Okay.
task I would say is really well done. This is one of the best one. Only thing I would like to say is that is like only fault I could find as a viewer. That is you should have added screenshots of your input or output in your PPT. Okay, because I just told you to go through your presentation. You go through your presentation. One thing you should have noticed that there is lot of text. It looks like there is lot of text, but in reality there is not. There is very less explanation. Most of the text you have is actually input and output. Okay, if you will have image, it will look more interactive. It will look good. Okay, and it will be really good visually. Okay, other than that, I would say your overall presentation was really good. Each and every point was well explained. Proper examples were given and examples were good. You had a proper demo. You actually created a website that was really good. The design was really good. The your overall text and content was really good. Other than that screenshot thing that I mentioned, I would say it was good. You followed proper everything code of content. Your internet was this time it was good. Mic cameras was good. Okay, you had proper references and everything. So I would say this was a best presentation I should do. Okay,
Thank you,
so
sir.
thank you for the presentation. Now I'll move on to next person.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, so next is Abhimanu Kumar.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, very good evening. Please start.
Yes, sir. So, good evening, everyone. My topic of presentation is get started with S3. First of all, I will introduce myself. I am Abhimanu Kumar, Cloud Architecture Intern Group. So, Amazon S3 is a simple storage service which help us to store data in retrieve it in a easy format from anywhere, any place. We can use those data and upload it in any size. So it provides management features so that we can organize and configure access to our data to meet our specific business, organizational, and compliance requirements. So to store data, first we need to create a bucket in AWS Management Console. To create a bucket, we need to go to S3 services. Then under S3 services, we need to create a bucket. We need to give a bucket name that should be unique. And then we need to choose a region. Region should be nearest to our location. Once the bucket is created, we can see like a successfully created bucket with our bucket name which we have chosen. We can see the name and region. So after creating a bucket, we can upload any object like text, file, images, anything which we want to store in S3 bucket. To upload that, we need to choose the bucket in which we want to upload the object. And then there is a button of upload button in the right corner of the screen. Then we need to select add files button. We can also configure like access control list under the files, like what are the policies in that. Then we can click on upload button. So once we upload, we can see that what are the files uploaded. Like I uploaded a PPK file. Here it shows that succeeded one file under my bucket. Then next task is to configure the bucket policy to control access to your S3 bucket. So like we want to give like public access or to few user access only. We can configure those things under our S3 bucket. To do that, we need to click on the permission tab, and then we click on the bucket policy. Under the bucket policy editor, we need to write a JSON format text to give a to create a policy. Once we written the policy, we need to click on the save button to apply the policy to the bucket. So there are many pre-written tasks we can also use, or we can like if you are good in JavaScript, you can JSON format, then we can type it by our own. So here I have edited one policy that allows to upload with ACL. We need to specify the bucket name under that. So it will, once we save it under our bucket, it will allows us to, with the policy for uploading with ACL. And next task is to create a static website hosted on S3. We can host a static website on S3 also. To do that, we need to create a like a HTML file for our website, and we need to upload it like we uploaded that PPA file. We can upload a HTML file under the bucket, and then we can get a link to our website. Like I can show you in the demo. So this is my bucket. And I have uploaded two files here. One is a PPK file and another one is the HTML file.
Sorry to interrupt, Abhimanu, your demo is not visible. I can only see your PPT.
One second, sir. Now it is visible.
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. So this is my bucket. I will select this. So here two files are uploaded. One is a PPK file and another one is the HTML file. So we can see region and all other types, like this is a HTML file. Here is the URL. We can also define like whether it should be public or private. So if it is public, then anyone with the link can access this. I will open this link. So basically, it is a sample website. I just written this welcome to my website and now hosted on S3. So using S3 services of AWS, we can also host a static website on a web page. These are the references I used. So any questions?
Your reference PPT was not used. Can you just show?
One second, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so are you taking any questions?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with respect to price, what you would say? Suppose I want to use S3 for static website hosting or just my hosting the files. So with respect to price, what are the things that I should look into?
Things you should note that there is a pricing in AWS. You should compare with other also, but it is a cheap one. Like as we compare, we can upload any amount of data and we can access it from anywhere. So these are the benefits.
Like, can you give me an average price, monthly price that I should be having?
I am using currently free tier, so
So
I
what are
haven't.
the like what are the things we get in the free tier?
Free tier we can get I can show you. Like under EC2 we get 750 hours of hosting and around 2000 requests we can made through that, and it's loading. I can show you the whole billing.
You just don't have to show me the entire billing for your account. Okay.
Oops.
So you can close it because you don't like disclose your billing information of your account location. Okay. So next
Okay,
time the point of asking it this was the thing is like when we have AWS and thing, okay. So your was getting started with S3. Okay. So when we are talking
yes,
about
sir.
getting started with some kind of service, so it is just a general thing to like let users know about the common things such as pricing and what are the basic pros and cons. Okay. It should be included
Okay,
with respect to your presentation. Maybe it is not included in your task, but when you are
yes,
giving a presentation with respect to presentation, like you should include these things like pros, cons, and pricing and everything. When we are having a cloud deployment, okay, or like cloud
okay,
development. So this is a good thing to add. That is why I asked you. You had your knowledge. I would say you did answer it
yes,
pretty good. Okay, but next time I would say try to like don't try to disclose the confidential information on the PPT. Okay. Other
okay,
than
sir.
that, I
Okay.
would say it was very well made PPT. The content was good. Your explanation was also good. Although like some of the demo, as I had to say that your demo is not good. So work on that. Try to like have a presentation on your Zoom account or locally with you. Try to practice it and it will make it perfect. Okay. Other than
Okay,
that, it
sir.
was good. Only thing is like try to add these things, pros and cons
Okay,
and
sir.
basic
From next
understanding.
time I will add.
Okay, it will make good
Okay,
for
sir.
your viewers. Okay, because some of the
Yes, sir.
viewers may not like use your S3 or thing, but it will be
Yes,
good
sir.
for good knowledge for them, right? So try
Okay,
to
sir.
include that. Other than that, I would say it was good. The demo was also good. You had included everything. You will get your marks after this meeting is over. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
So now I will move on to the next person. Okay. So next person is Ritik. Just Ritik. Try to have your full name so that we know which intern is that because there are multiple people in there. Yeah, yes. I have given you access to it.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, please turn your camera.
Yes, sir.
We are running low on time. Please have your presentation started.
Yes, sir. I'm presenting my screen.
Yeah,
Just a
please
second.
start.
So, sir, my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir. So, good evening. My name is Ritik Kuril. I'm from full stack web development course working as an intern. So my topic is introduction of data types, variables, operators in JavaScript. So our agenda will be for today will be we will see how data types work, what is data types, JavaScript variables, and what are JavaScript variables. how to use which type of variable in different scenarios, JavaScript operators, and after that I have a working project which I have made using the concepts which I have learned from these all things, and yeah, the code base for that project. So yeah, let's move on. So in JavaScript, there are 5 different data variables that JavaScript variables can contain. So what is a data type? A type of value a variable can has. Matlab, anything a JavaScript variable cannot have anything. So it is defined like it has some particular values. So basically, it has 5 different values a variable can have. A string type, like the example hello world. Number type, like 1, 2, 3, 12. Boolean type. So basically, it is true or false. Object type, objects may be arrays, list, or we can define our custom objects. And a function which is defined using def variable, and the example will be hello function. And other 2 miscellaneous types are null and undefined. Null and undefined are both not the same thing. If a value is assigned to null, that doesn't mean it doesn't have anything. It has a value which is equals to null. Undefined means it doesn't have anything. So basically, it is the difference between these two are this. So now we move on to our JavaScript variables. There are 4 ways in which we can describe the JavaScript variable. First is using var, second using let, third is using constant, and we can also do by using nothing, like simply defining a and assigning the value to it. So for example, if we are thinking what is a variable, so variable are the containers for storing data or something like a data type, like which we have already saw. So basically is an example, like I have used var for x equals to 3. Like in this part, if we can use different type of, when to use which type of variable. So like if we can see that if our there is a general rule about this: always declare using const, because like when a person is trying to execute the program, he might mistakenly change the value of that particular variable if it is not assigned to constant. So that's why it is a general good habit to use a const variable. So and when to use let variable. So basically, if you have a variable and its value is constantly changing, so it is good to write let, but in general convention it is always preferred to use const. So basically there is an example for this. So this is price 1, price 2, price 3. So price 1 and price 2 always fixed. So for this I am using const, and total will change because initially I will define total as 0, and after adding all both them, it will change. So I have defined using let. So this is the JavaScript variables. And now we come upon the third part of our PPT, which is JavaScript operator. So there are different types of JavaScript operators. So basically there are 5 types of operator. So first one is the arithmetic operator. Arithmetic operator is the operator which do arithmetic operations. For example, plus, increment, decrement, etc. And the next one is the assignment operator. Assignment operator is the operator which assigns a value, like example equals to, which I have mentioned here, like var, which I've already told, like total equals to let, that's the assignment thing. Yeah, and comparison operator. So basically comparison operator is used to compare 2 different variables or values. So basically double equals to or not equals to. Then comes the logical operator. Logical operators gives the answer always in true and false, like and pipe and etc. Now comes the conditional operator. The conditional operator is an operator which like conditional operator is the operator like if else, ternary operator, etc. Yeah, so these are the basic 5 types of operators in JavaScript. So here's a working project which I have recorded the video. So I have made a calculator using the concept of all these. So basically here it's going to work like I'm going to input 89 and I will use a addition operator and plus with 4, so it will give 93, and for that I can also multiply it, and all the calculator things this website will do. So yeah, so this is the working code. Yeah, so here here's the JavaScript code. So basically I have divided my screen into two parts. The first one is the HTML part here in the right side, and in the left side we have JS code. So basically in the JavaScript, in the HTML code, I have used button and and when the button is clicked, we have a on click function for that. Like for the clearing, we have a on click function, clear display. So clear display is defined in the JS, which function is to clear everything in the display which is currently is in our DOM. And like and like calculator equals to part is using a calculate function. So basically in this part we are using the arithmetic operation. We are calculating all the arithmetic operations of a calculator. So here is the function, and the other part is add to the display, which we are using here. Like if we put 1 2 3 etc in the calculator, so it will be added to the display. So yeah, basically this is was my working code and the explanation of the code. And yeah, thank you. And I have also working code here right now. Yeah, here is the working calculator. So if I put 96 plus 2 and put n equals to, then it will give me 98. And yeah, if I multiply it by 3, so yeah, it will give me 294. Yeah, so that's my presentation. Yeah, and any questions for me? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Are you done
Yeah,
with
so
your,
I conclude my PPT.
okay. Okay, so just show me on the slides.
Yes, sir. So here,
Okay, the
yeah,
content is good. It is just enough, I would say. The content is good. The text you have is good. Okay. I believe you got quite nervous during the explanation. You don't have to be nervous. Okay. I believe it was your first time presenting.
yes,
Is it
sir.
correct? Yeah. So you don't
Yes,
have to be. See, the thing is when you are presenting. Okay. So try to cover everything when you have in step by step manner. Okay, because I believe some people were there when they were explaining the same task. Okay, so you I believe forgot some things, but overall it was good, I believe. Okay, the demo was good. What you have is also correct. Okay, in your demo I believe some people had the true and false operator, the boolean operator. Okay, so
yes,
but it is okay, I would say, for this, because you don't have to, I believe, to actually create a demo, but you went on to create a demo for interactive presentation. That is good. So I would say overall your presentation was good. Okay, after
yes,
this
sir.
meeting is over, you will get your marks.
Thank you, sir.
So now
Have
I'll
a
move
great day,
on.
sir.
Yeah, yeah. So now I will move on to get just to explain that. So how many people we have missed for today? Okay, no problem. So people who have left today, you will not get any kind of negative evaluation. You will have your presentation tomorrow. If the time is, if we have time again, because we don't have time today. So I believe tomorrow you will have your presentation. Come early, raise your hand so that we can have your presentations early. Okay. So I will just take the names of people who have raised their hand. uh, I'm taking the names. People who I take the names, they will not receive any kind of negative evaluation. So Saurav Singh, Nikit Singh, Yathin Rao, Devansh Kumar Mahawar, and Gaurav Kumar, and Dhokai Bhargavi, and Dhruti Patel, Bharti Khatre, Dheeraj Mahantkar, Aditya Koler. And if I I believe that's it for the names. I have taken the screenshot of your all of your names. Okay, you guys will not receive any kind of negative evaluation because we couldn't have your PPT for this. That is completely fine. So one thing I wanted to say is some people were asking me that they want to have a discussion on this. Explain process of daily progress update. I will just show my screen. So I believe my screen is visible to all of you. So if you go on this hackvedalimited.in company, this is our URL hackveda.in. Okay, you have to go there. Now, whatever page you are or anything you are, first let the website load completely. After the website has loaded, you will see on the bottom, on the right side bottom, there is something called as technical support. So you have to click on this blue color dot, and after that, what you can do is you can click on start new conversation. So after clicking on start new conversation, you have to give your name. So I have, suppose my name is Yashchandra. And then I can select my whatever it is. So I'm Scrum Manager, so I will select the Scrum Manager. Okay, and then I will click on Start Chat. Okay, so some of you may have the option of message earlier today, but it is not actually important if we have like the message for the message in that. After you click on Start like conversation, you will have option to send the messages. Now, some of you were asking me how to like upload a document. So you can send your message so that I have progress updates here. Okay, so I have progress update. I have sent the message address. I can insert a emoji, or I can also send any kind of document that I want. Okay. After that, when you are done, you can just close it and it will be done. But suppose you are not getting your message on time, you are not getting the result, then you can even if you close it, it will stay there for like 24 hours. Don't make sure that you are not closing your tab. Okay. Then we can have it. But it is till the session is running, your chats will be there. When the person, someone from the support team is online, they will tell you what to do. Okay, and sessions are mostly for 24 hours. Okay, so you don't have to worry about getting your data lost when you have messages. Okay, so make sure when you are doing a progress update, you are saying that you have progress update. After that, you are properly adding all the GitHub links or whatever the files you want to add in this chat box. And then from the support side, we will get all that information. We will get your name, email, phone number, and then whatever department you are from, what you are trying to say, that is progress update, and whatever the files you have attached. If all of these are correct, then we will know what we will have your progress update mark. Okay, and suppose once you have given us this information and you have given the message progress update and your data, we will get it from our side. So even if your website is closed or you lost your session, we will have that message, and then we can contact you through the phone or through your email address. So when you have given your progress update, make sure to check your emails on daily basis, on hourly basis, in case your session is lost. Okay, to get the follow-up from the support people. Okay, so support people may send you message through the email if this session is lost. Okay, so I believe this cleared all your doubt. You just have to go on hackveda.in website, and then you have to click on this blue dot, and then after that you have to start a conversation and support your in this conversation. You can do everything that include your daily progress update. If you want to take a leave, you can also say that here, that I want to go leave for this and this period. Suppose you have an error, you can say that I am getting error. This can be like anytime you are getting error, just post it here. For all the things, we are going to stop using Trello from 24th. Okay, from 24th, Trello will be obsolete. We will not be using it. Everything you have, any kind of conversation you want to have, you can always do that in this website, that is hackveda.in, and then here technical support. You have to click it. If I go to some other page, I will still get this blue color chat thing. Okay, so I believe this you know how to do it. Okay, and all the people who are like Scrum managers and everything. So it is simple. You guys will have a dashboard interface where you will get all the active sessions. You have to click on it. You have to enter the chat and receive your interns whatever their queries. Okay, this is only and only for the people who have received the support task. Okay. Other than that, it is easy. Sir couldn't join today, so that is why I am doing this quick intro on this, how to give your progress update. This is only for the interns. Sir will properly give a proper resource by tomorrow or by 24th, because we are still testing this feature. Okay, so now I will move on to some other. So some people are saying that you have not received your task. So when you have not received your task yet, you are the new intern. So tomorrow when you will receive your attendance email, you just have to click on assign new task. Okay, because it is already 48 hours. So you may have been pushed out of the list. Okay, so you just have to click on assign new task. You will be assigned new task in 24 to 48 hours. And if you have not received your task by 23, let me say 23 people who are saying they have not received task today, tomorrow you will click on assign new task. And if you have not received your task by 23, then again on the technical support chat that we have on the hackveda.in website, you just have to go there and say that you have not received the task, and someone will assign you the task. Okay, that is it. That is how we will be going to say. No, you cannot change your task when you have received it. So once you have received the task, you cannot change it. Only way to change it when it is not related to your domain. So suppose I am from a web developer domain, but I am receiving a task of Android development, then I can ask for the change. But if it is relevant to my domain, I cannot change my task. When it is received, you have to complete it. If you can't find the reference or anything, you can always ask for this. See, it is already about 9. We can't have your presentation, sir. Okay, so I'm not able to connect database to website. See, you just have to say all of this in the technical support chat. You will receive some people. Okay, when you are having this kind of error, make sure you record a meeting and everything. Okay. See, yeah, you have to submit your progress update every day. So you will receive your task, you will do some kind of work on your task, right? So suppose I have received a task where I have to create a website. So I would say that on first day, suppose I created the HTML file, then I would say that I have created HTML file today and I will post that HTML file. Any kind of code based thing, you just have to create a GitHub account on your account, make it public, share the link, that is fine. And other than that, if it is not relevant to the code, you can just create a simple screen recording of what your task was and share it with us in the technical support chat itself. Okay, so you have to give your progress update on the task every day. Whatever thing you have completed that day, you have to give it. Even if it is like 1 or 2 line of code you have given, you have to say that I have done this kind these things today. See, you have raised your hand, but you were in last queue, so I can't have it today. So all the people who have their presentation left, we will have their presentation tomorrow. So I believe with this we can conclude the meeting. So thank you for all the presentation that we have today. If you have any kind of general queries that we couldn't answer, then you can certainly post it on the general queries. We will answer it then because we have a dedicated support team that is working on that. So they will receive all of your general queries, whatever your chat is. Make sure it is relevant to your domain and then post it. Okay, any kind of general query you have, you just have to select your department, and then people from your respective department will reply to you. So with that, I hope the progress update thing was clear. From tomorrow onward, make sure you are using the general chat to update your progress because from 24th we will stop using Twitter. So thank you for your presentation. With this, I would like to conclude the meeting. The recordings will be available. Will be sent to you. Okay, for till 24th, we will send it on the Trello itself. After that, you may receive some other method of receiving it. Okay, or you may get access to YouTube, that we may send you link of YouTube that you can access. Okay, so with this, I would like to end the meeting. Thank you.